Today I fucked up by accidentally liking my ex's Instagram post from 2 years ago. I was scrolling through Instagram, like 2 a.m. or something, and somehow ended up on my ex's profile. Guilty, I know. We broke up like 8 months ago and I've been trying to move on, but I guess I was curious about what she's been up to. I was looking at her recent posts and then started scrolling back through older ones. I guess I was deeper than I thought because I accidentally double-tapped on a photo from like 2 years ago when we were still together. Not a pic of us two, but a pic of her that was done through my iPhone. I tried to unlike it right away, but the damage was done. She texted me an hour later asking why I was stalking her profile, and I said that I miss her. I truly do. I almost fainted when she said to me that she misses me too, and now we're gonna go out this weekend. I did fuck up by liking her pic, but I guess sometimes fucking up will bring a good thing next. Haha, too long did not read. I liked my ex's Instagram post and now we have a date set for this weekend. I got back with my ex after 5 years of not talking by drunk, poking her on Facebook. We're married now. Good luck. Accidental like turned into a second chance? Happy for you, dude. Hope it works out. Hard on fire. I mean, this could be a good or bad thing. Why did you guys break up the first time? Was it something you couldn't work out or something you could? Wishing the best for you though. Wrong subreddit surely. The sex will be great and the post-nut clarity is going to smack you silly. Have fun. The real question is, are you good to deal with whatever she did these 8 months? And has something changed that will put you in a different position from the day you broke up? If the answers are no and no, I call off the date. Today I fucked up by asking my sibling's girlfriend to fit check me in her bra. I promise there's context and this is completely SFW. So my sibling's girlfriend is a super sweet person. Last night she decided she'd come over to our place today and bring some of her old clothes that she wanted to be rid of with her so that I could try them on and see what I like and want to keep. These were the clothes she'd already gone through that didn't fit my sibling. K, name substitute for siblings GF. And I wear an XS whereas my sibling wears a MIIRC. So as you could imagine, there were a lot of clothes that she brought in a laundry basket stuffed to the brim because most of what she wanted to get rid of didn't fit my sibling. For some additional context, K is basically the only feminine person I'm close with. I absolutely love having a feminine girl in my life for once because she'll help me pick clothes and give me opinions on the nails I make and such, which is something I lacked before having mostly guy friends. She really is like a sister to me. So since I take fashion advice from her and really trust her opinion, every now and then as I went through the basket of clothes, if I felt uncertain of an outfit or clothing item, I'd put it on and go out to the family room to ask for opinions from my sibling and K. Anyways, I'm getting to the very bottom of the laundry basket and I see a super cute top. Black and lacy with thin straps. I'm immediately in love and it does occur to me that it looks sort of like a bra, but Kate tends to like to dress like a slut, her words, not mine. And I'd seen her wear something like it before as a top, so I just assumed it was a top. Plus, why would she give me a bra? I hadn't seen any others in the laundry basket up until that point. So I put it on, adjust it, and check myself out in the mirror. It was definitely super cute, but I wasn't super sure if it suited me well. So I went out into the family room and said, "Hey, Kay, how does this look on me?" She nodded and said, "It looks cute. But, it's not a top. That's a bralette." My sibling was in the kitchen making mac and cheese bites and they glanced over, sort of giving me a judgmental look but agreeing that it looked fine on me. I just gave a nod, laughed it off, and went back to the master bedroom to continue sorting through clothes. Very anticlimactic, I know. But I was quite horrified by the fact that I just walked into the family room to ask Kay how her bra looked on me. As it turns out, there was even a second bra in the basket which I should have taken as another clue that she would give me a bra, so I guess I'm just very blind. But in my defense, it was at the bottom. Too long did not read. My sibling's girlfriend gave me some clothes to try on. I saw a bra in the basket, thought it was an actual top, and went out into the living room to ask her and my sibling how it looks on me. Update. The mac and cheese bites were ridiculously good. You know what, I appreciate the occasional today I fucked up that doesn't involve bathroom mistakes, relationships ending, or someone almost dying. I don't think I've ever read the word sibling this many times to the point of becoming uncomfortable. LMAO. If you thought it looked like a top, no reason you couldn't treat it like a top, I guess? Really comes down to what you feel comfortable with. A fairly wholesome today I fucked up that didn't make me nearly vomit. Nice. Take my upvote. A nice mellow mistake. This is poorly written, poorly explained, and doesn't really fit here. Thank you and have a nice day in your bra. Today I fucked up by telling a coworker, I'm the master of masturbating. Story is actually from a year ago, but haunts me to this day. For context, I, 30 female, am a lead in my department. So while I don't supervise anyone, I'm almost management. We're WFH, so it's common for me to get on Zoom calls with coworkers throughout the day. On this particular day, I was screen sharing with my coworker, Jane, 53 female. She happens to notice that as I'm helping her, I'm also responding to various messages and email. She comments on how I'm always doing 1,000 things at once. Here's where I foo. What I meant to say was, yeah, I'm a master of multitasking. Instead, what came out was, yeah, I'm a master of masturba. I stopped myself mid-word. I was mortified. If I could have disappeared from this plane of existence, I would have. She starts hysterically laughing, and asks, were you gonna say masturbating? Sheepishly, I confess that yes, that's what I was saying. I tell her don't know what short-circuited in my brain, and I really meant to say, multitasking. And I beg her to please not report me to HR for my foo. She was super cool about it, but I'm still embarrassed to ever see her in person again. Too long did not read. My brain glitched, and instead of telling my coworker, I'm the master of multitasking, I instead said, I'm the master of masturbating. As an adolescent, my friend and I were playing Caesar's Palace on Super Nintendo. I got blackjack against my friend and loudly yelled, blowjob, instead of blackjack within easy hearing distance of my mother. I am, in fact, a master at debating. A master debater, you could say. You reminded me of this, good times. When my daughter was 8 years old, I began calling around local swimming facilities for proper swimming lessons. During one phone call, I was referred to a young lady who sounded very professional and started asking questions about my daughter and things like skill levels, height, weight, etc. I was more than happy to oblige. One of her questions was, what is her current swimming skill level? To which I answered, she can honestly get from one end to the pool to the other but not very efficiently. It's like a mix of struggling to survive and doggy style. Doggy paddle. I meant doggy paddle. And a very awkward 5 seconds ensued. I did not choose that facility. We found the clit commander. Everyone slips up and says dumb shit sometimes. Acknowledge it and move on. If someone keeps bringing it up, set a boundary. I asked my boss a few months ago if she could give me some of her oral expertise. It was supposed to be oracle expertise. Today I fucked up by drinking pure tea tree oil. This all happened 2 days ago, but I decided to post it here anyway. I, M18, was at my grandparents' place for a weekend. I had been dealing with some minor gum issues and had notified my grandma about it, as I knew she had battled gum issues in the past. She gave me a bottle of pure tea tree oil, suggested 3 drops in 150 ml of water to rinse and spit out. Importantly, spit out. I told her that I don't really taste anything, so she told me to try 10 drops. After rinsing and spitting out, she decided to let me take the bottle home. The following night at home, I was doing the rinse and spit, when I got the clever thought that, oh, since it's tea tree, safe to use for your mouth, or so I thought, I am sure there are some health benefits of swallowing it. I ended up drinking 10 drops of pure tea tree oil diluted with just 150 ml of water, with the idea that it was a good idea cause I am a very dehydrated person anyway. In bed, right before putting the phone down, I decided to look up tea tree oil to see how healthy my choice had been. Upon Googling it, I was told to rush to the hospital immediately. After walking to the hospital, it's a 5 or 6 minute walk, I ended up being strapped down in a chair and being poked with needles. Then they rolled the chair in the back of an ambulance and we were headed for the city. They checked my blood pressure, heart rate and regularity, and blood sugar levels, all of which they said were textbook perfect. I was made to stay in a crowded fluorescent hospital hallway for 6 hours from 1-7 am. And then I had to wait in a car for 30 minutes as we drove back to town where I could finally catch 5 hours of probably the worst sleep of my life. I luckily walked off fine though, with no lasting symptoms or anything. Also, concerning little extra. Some of my doctors had to use ChatGPT to understand what tea tree oil was. Too long did not read. Drank 10 drops pure tea tree oil and ended up in the hospital. Edit. To those who said going to the hospital was unnecessary, I had already called poison control and informed them. They urged me to seek medical attention immediately. Also, a lot of people are wondering why I didn't do my research. I usually do, but I didn't this time around. My grandmother is a well-renowned gardener, and so I trusted her very well with what she was giving me. I did not think to do my own research at that time, and it was an honest mistake. We live, and we learn, and I certainly will not be putting essential oils anywhere near mouth again. Edit 2. I know it's not grandma's fault. Thank you guys for correcting me on my blame-shifting behavior. I'm not and wasn't ever mad at her for what happened. I've fully known this whole time that the fault is mine. I am just trying to look less like a dumbass. Edit 3. Just removed some stuff that I regretted saying, cause I felt it didn't represent how I felt about the situation accurately. I am having a hard time understanding how you went from using the advice, remember to spit it out. 2. It's probably safe for consumption. Hopefully even extra healthy. Like, how did you get there? Cold sweat smile. Sorry this happened, but this is hilarious. The fact that doctors are looking up what tea tree oil is doesn't really concern me. Doctors always look things up because there's so much to learn about health, medicine, etc. But using ChatGPT is somewhat concerning. Sure, it's a very useful tool and can provide a lot of useful information, but it's definitely not reliable yet, let alone reliable enough to stake someone's life on it. This guy OBVS lives in a country with free healthcare. In America, we just live in fear if we don't have immediate symptoms. And even if symptoms do arise, we wait until we are bleeding from all our holes and eyes too before driving ourselves to the hospital. He'll probably turn this into my own today. I fucked up, but I once almost killed my cat because I used tea tree leaf oil beard wash and then snuggled him. It caused him to have massive seizures because it's highly toxic to cats and can be absorbed through their skin. Cancer, tobacco, alcohol, cyanide, asbestos, uranium, arsenic, and other unhealthy things all occur naturally. Bacteria, virus, diseases, mold, parasites, poisonous plants, and venomous animals are all natural. Natural does not mean safe or healthy. Same with organic. Furthermore, tea tree and other essential oils are processed and extremely concentrated. Swallowing 10 drops of tea tree oil could be the equivalent to eating half the tree for all you know. So did you ever actually start to feel crummy? Because it sounds like you panicked and preemptively took yourself to the hospital for no reason.